and in this video we are going to take a look at how to install Bootstrap onto our web page using a CDN. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the CDN, or if you don't know what CDN stands for, then CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. And a CDN is basically a server that hosts all of the Bootstrap files that you want to use, and it hosts them externally. So you don't ever have to worry about people editing your Bootstrap files or deleting your Bootstrap files by accident, because they are not on your server. They're actually on a CDN server. And that's just one of the advantages of using a CDN. The other advantage is that it's really easy to implement Bootstrap files or Bootstrap using a CDN. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to implement Bootstrap on your local server or on your local host. Okay, so let's take a look at how to download Bootstrap, or just how to get the CDN code. And what you want to do is go over to getbootstrap.com, and when you arrive on that website, you should have this big purple banner with a big download button in the middle, and that is over here. Okay, if for some reason the Bootstrap site doesn't look like that when you get there, it's either because you're on the wrong website or maybe Bootstrap has changed in between the time that you're watching this video and the time that I recorded it. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on download, and when you do that, you should land up on a page that looks kind of like this. Now, the reason why I already had this page open was because my internet is really slow and I wanted to be able to get this code without waiting for that twirly loading circle to load for 100 years. Okay, so I just figured it would be easier to open the page before the video, and that way I don't have to waste a lot of time waiting for the page to load. Okay, so you'll see that we've got on this page a Bootstrap CDN and a whole bunch of links that we can use in our code. Okay, and the first link is a link to the latest compiled and minified CSS. So that is the actual Bootstrap file that we want to use. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, we also want to use this optional theme. So this is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's just going to add all the Bootstrap colors. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this theme as well. And it's just going to make sure that we've got a few colors, or I don't want to say colors, but yeah, we've just got something on the website that looks like it's been styled instead of just having some unstyled elements, because all this file is really going to give us is the grid, this first file over here. Okay, and the last file is Bootstrap's JavaScript. Okay, and that is a minified JavaScript file that is gonna give us all the cool JavaScript functionality, like that Bootstrap modal that I showed you in the previous video. Okay, so what we want to do is actually just copy all of this. I'm going to go ahead and say copy, and now we need to paste it in our HTML file. So if I go back over to my desktop over here, you can see that I've got a folder called tutorial 1 implementing Bootstrap. Okay, and that's the tutorial that we're doing now. It's actually not tutorial 1, it's tutorial 2. So Quentin, get with the program and name your files right next time. Okay, and inside of that folder we have an index.html file, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and open up my text editor, and because I'm using a Mac, I'm using Sublime Text. So I know this looks a little bit different because I've always been using Notepad++ and now I'm using Sublime, but hey, Notepad++ doesn't work on OS X, so I had to find an alternative. Okay, and if we take a look at this HTML file over here before I paste in my links, you can see that I've got all the basic stuff that you would expect to have in an HTML file. So I've got my doc type, I've got my HTML tags, my header tag, my body tag, inside there my meta tag to make sure that my website's Unicode. You always want to go ahead and include that. Okay, and then I've got my title, which is just optional, okay, but Bootstrap the CDN way. It kind of relates to what we're doing over here. And then I've got all these links over here. And as you can see, the first link says, this is where we link the CDN CSS files. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in those files that I downloaded. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit tab and indent those correctly. So the first one, like I said, is Bootstrap's functionality or CSS functionality. The second one is the actual theme, so the look and feel of Bootstrap. And this last one over here is actually a JavaScript file, so I want to go ahead and remove that for now. And I'm going to paste that JavaScript file or that JavaScript link down at the bottom of the page. And for some reason, I lost the link. So let me go over to here, just Control C. I think the reason why is because I hit cut twice over there, and then I landed up cutting a blank line. Okay, so let me indent that correctly, and that is our Bootstrap JavaScript file down here at the bottom. But we need one last CDN file for all of this to work, and that is a jQuery file. Now the reason why we need that jQuery file is because all of this functionality that we use in Bootstrap's JavaScript file actually requires jQuery. Okay, so I'm going to jump back over to my browser, and I'm going to leave a link to this website in the description, but this is just Google's CDN version of jQuery. So go ahead and go to this web page, click on jQuery. It's going to scroll you down the page to a jQuery link, and we've got jQuery version 1.11.2. That is the version we're going to want to take. So don't worry about version 2. It's not that it's a newer version of jQuery. It's just that version 2 doesn't support Internet Explorer 8 or 9, and I don't think it really matters, but I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one just in case any of you guys are using an old browser. And yeah, let's go ahead and paste that over here. Okay, and make sure that you paste your jQuery file above your Bootstrap JavaScript file. Otherwise, you're going to hit a few errors and you're going to wonder why it's not working. And the reason is because you probably mixed these two around. Okay, you definitely need your jQuery file above the Bootstrap JS file. So just make sure you do that. And yeah, now we've got all of our files in place. Now what we've got to do is actually test to see if Bootstrap and Bootstrap's JavaScript is actually working. So what I want to do over here is replace this we code here with some actual code that I write. And what we can do just to test that everything is working is actually add an input, or not an input, but let's make a button and end this button off. And Sublime actually finishes the tag for me. I need to get used to that. I still haven't gotten used to that. And I'm just going to say click me, and I want to give this button a class that is equal to btn and btn dash success. And if Bootstrap is working correctly, we should land up with a green button on our website. So I'm going to hit Control S, and let's go ahead and actually open this up in Firefox. So let me say open with Firefox, and this is probably going to take a little bit of time to load because my internet is horrendous. And I'm back, and yeah, this page is actually still loading. It's been about 2 minutes. This is why I made sure I opened up those other pages before I started coding. or before I started recording the video. But now you can see that Bootstrap is indeed working, because we do have this green button over here, and that is following the Bootstrap optional theme. So if you guys didn't use this optional theme, you might not land up with a green button. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and yeah, now that we've got Bootstrap actually working, what we can do is actually test the JavaScript or jQuery files over here. And to test if the jQuery file is actually working, what we're going to do is add an onClick attribute. So I'm going to say onClick, just like that, and we'll set that equal to $brackets this dot hide, and open close brackets semicolon. Okay, and what this does is on click, it hides this button. Okay, so go ahead and save that and refresh this in your browser. I actually went ahead and refreshed this already. So now if we click on this, the button hides, and that way we know that jQuery is actually working. So jQuery and Bootstrap are working, and now we are good to go and move on to the next video.